Oh boy, you guys are going to get a kick out of this one, bro. Oh, you're going to love this. So shout out to Dave Clips, who watches Dave Rubin shows so you don't have to. Gives us the good moments. So Dave comes out on his show the other day, and he reveals the Libertarian Party was reaching out to him to try to get him to run for president as a libertarian. Bro, you can't make this up. I might have to take back the kind things I've said about libertarians after hearing this news. I always said, look, libertarians, I have like 40 or 50% agreement with them, and on those issues, we really agree, right? End the wars, end the drug war, protect civil liberties, right? I'm sure there's plenty of libertarian listeners to this show because they appreciate the stuff on war and civil liberties, et cetera, right? But they reached out to Dave Rubin and said, let's go with him. Let's try to get him to run for president. So he's going to talk about it a little bit here and tell you what his actual position is and why he didn't end up running for president. Let's dive in.
This is when they ultimately nominated Jo Jorgensen, and it was months before I think she was in, and they were trying to figure out what to do. And I got a call from two higher ups there asking if I would consider it, and they wanted some, like, it was about a 20-minute or so conversation, and they asked a little bit to clarify some of my positions on things. And I was, at that point, I had already sort of ideologically shifted more, I don't even want to say more to the right. I was already like ready to support Trump.
I can't stand how Weasley is with the labels, bro. I cannot stand it. Just say it. We know what it is. Just say it. Yeah, I moved more to the right. Say it. Say it. What are you playing hide the ball for, bitch? Just say it. I can't stand these dishonest commentators. Holy shit. Anybody who's ever watched 15 minutes of your ass or more knows, yes, you moved to the right. Why are you pretending like, I don't want to say I moved more to the right? Of course you fucking did. Oh my God. You guys know his trajectory. Remember his trajectory. I'm a TYT commentator. I'm a progressive. I'm all that stuff. Then it became, okay, I'm still a progressive, but I agree more with Sam Harris than I do with Cenk Uygur, and I think Muslims are uniquely bad and wrong. So I'm a new atheist and a progressive. Then it became, I'm more of a enlightened centrist / classical liberal. Then it became, I'm like a moderate conservative and somewhat libertarian, but still right-leaning. And now it's just, I coddle Trump's nutsack on a daily basis, and I'm MAGA, right? Dave, you're not special. You're not special. And in fact, as you all know, I look sideways at the people who are grown-ass people, and they suddenly have a political awakening and transformation, the likes of which appears to be a religious one. I can't take you seriously if you're like, I believed 78 policy things over here, and then within the course of 3 years, I now disagree with literally everything I said 3 years ago. All 78 things, I flipped on all of them. Every single one. What? Yeah, being an adult, growing up, evolving, yeah, you might change your mind on 1, 2, 3, 4 issues, right? Slight tweaks around the edges here or there. That wasn't quite right. The particulars are... That's all fine and dandy. That's called growing up. That's called maturing. That's called evolving. That's called learning things. Growing. But 78 things, I changed my mind on every single one. You're probably grifting. You're probably looking for a fucking lane. And that's who this guy is. All right, we're just getting started, bro. We're just getting started.
I had already sort of ideologically shifted more, I don't even want to say more to the right. I was already like ready to support Trump.
He's like allergic to being honest about himself.
I didn't think it made any sense. The libertarians, sadly, it's, as I always say, it's trying to wrangle cats. Let's debate whether we should have, drivers.
It's actually not. It's actually not. It's with lefties, it's like trying to wrangle cats. With libertarians, they have some, it depends on the flavor and the variety of libertarian, but they agree on the overwhelming majority of things. You're never going to find a libertarian who doesn't agree with another libertarian on at least like 80% of things. So it's actually not like trying to wrangle cats.
Let's debate whether we should have, driver's licenses instead of actually doing anything important. I love libertarian ideas. This country was founded largely on libertarian ideas.
Libertarian ideas, like the 3/5 compromise. This country was founded on libertarian ideas, like only wealthy white men can own land. Women are not allowed to own any property. Libertarian ideas like genociding the Native Americans. Come on, dude. Come on. Get the fuck out of here.
Classical liberalism is really just libertarianism with some set of rules around it, like some minimal set of rules around it.
Do not go to Dave Rubin for your political definitions. Dave, quick, what's the difference between a classic liberal and a libertarian? Well, a classic liberal is like a libertarian, but with some segment of rules around it. I don't know why I'm doing a Bill Cosby impression. You zip, zop, zoobada bop, jello pudding pop. Oh my God, dude. Oh, that was glorious. Oh, that was so glorious. I love it. I love it so much. Oh, give me that brilliant definition one more time.
Classical liberalism is really just libertarianism with some set of rules around it, like some minimal set
of rules.
And that to me is how we should be governing ourselves. You can have all the ideals you want, but you usually can't live in a utopia. You can have little brief moments of it. And libertarians largely live in a utopia. But then at some point the rubber meets the road, and I would say largely Trump, imperfectly, has been the most libertarian president that we've had in a long time, scaling back wars, lowering taxes.
The most libertarian president we've had in a long... Okay, scaling back wars. Not true. Not true. He hasn't done that. And I think Dave Rubin is smart enough to know he hasn't done that. Actually, I take that back. I don't think he's smart enough to know that. Do we have to go through the list again? You guys can repeat the list with me now. I've said it so many times. Increased drone strikes over 400%. Kept us in Iraq and Afghanistan. Assassinated a top Iranian commander illegally. Tried to coup Venezuela. Ripped up the Iran agreement. Signed a pro-torture executive order. Wants war with Mexico. He's campaigning on that now. Armed Saudi Arabia as they did a genocide. Yeah, please. He ended wars. He's very libertarian. By the way, even on his economic stuff, what's the true libertarian position on trade deals? Their position is, yeah, unlimited trade deals anywhere and everywhere. I don't care. Outsource anything. As long as you're maximizing profit, I don't care. Pay somebody in a fucking Indonesian sweatshop 23 cents per hour to make the goods. That's the true libertarian, right-wing libertarian capitalist perspective on trade deals. So when Trump, for example, axed the TPP, that is not libertarian. That's actually very paleoconservative. That's like the Pat Buchanan type of conservatism. He did tariffs on China. That's more paleoconservative than libertarian. And by the way, just so we're clear, this is one area of Trump where I agreed more with him than I do with the libertarians. There's many areas where I agree more with the libertarians than I do with Trump, right? But this is one area where I agree more with him. The idea is the most libertarian. What the fuck are you talking about? How is he more libertarian? How? By the way, when he cut taxes, 83% of it over the long run was for the rich. At least the Ron Paul types, they also want to get rid of the taxes or reduce them massively on poor people. He doesn't want to do that shit. He's a classic conservative Republican in that. He's George W. Bush with his fucking spray tan and a meerkat on his head. Who are we kidding? The most libertarian? What the fuck are you talking about?
Has been the most libertarian president that we've had in a long time, scaling back wars, lowering taxes, leaving COVID to the states, et cetera, et cetera. So libertarians are never going to get what they...
Leaving COVID to the states. I mean, I guess he did do that, but he also, early on, I don't fault him for this, but early on, he was on board with like, okay, you should do shutdowns here and there. He even castigated the governor of Georgia, Kemp, when Kemp wanted to open up Georgia and he thought it was too soon. So, and this is like the RFK argument against Trump is like, he actually was very COVID restrictionist. He was more cautious, and that's not like the libertarian position anyway.
But there was a reason Donald Trump went to that convention, and it was because it's like, hey guys, I'm more like you. So come on this way instead of getting that, as Trump said, 3 to 4% that you guys get every year, but every 4 years. But by the way, they didn't even get that last time. They got 1.2% last time. So look, you guys have ballot access. The Libertarian Party, you're on all 50 states and DC. Like you could do something magical with it, or in times of great, with an impending disaster on the way, which is what it seems like, you might want to just be like, all right, do we want to hand this to Biden and the Dems and the communists and all of the authoritarians and
the communists,
state people who are completely antithetical to all of our ideas? Or do we want to just kind of go with the Trump guy and yeah, he spends a little bit more and okay, he's not a perfect libertarian. Like at some point you just got to like get into reality as well.
That is literally the worst argument I've ever heard for like suck it up and vote for Trump. By the way, so he went to that libertarian convention, he spoke. What happened? He got booed. We covered that. And also, they had a vote at the end of it for everybody at the convention. He got like 6 votes out of hundreds of people. So funny enough, when he attacked them, oh, you want to get your 3%, your 4% again? Go ahead if you want to. Come with me only if you want to win. Trump ended up getting like 3% of the vote in that room. Oh my God. I got to hear it one more time. Here we go.
In times of great, with an impending disaster on the way, which is what it seems like, you might want to just be like, all right, do we want to hand this to Biden and the Dems and the communists and all of the authoritarians and big state people?
Yeah, the authoritarians. One of the issues libertarians have with Trump is he's authoritarian. That's one of the issues they have with him. Libertarians are not pro-torture like Donald Trump is. Libertarians don't like the idea of when Trump tried to invoke the Insurrection Act to deploy the U.S. military on our own streets. They don't like that. I can't. Okay, tell me sum up what he's saying here. But like the Democrats are really bad, so like give away your principles and stuff. That's what he's saying to libertarians. It's not going to work with libertarians, man. I have many disagreements with libertarians. Not being principled is not one of them. They are principled. Look at Ron Paul. Look at Thomas Massie. So this whole like just suck it up and do it, it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. So anyway, good luck with that. How embarrassing is that? The Libertarian Party reached out to him to maybe run and be their candidate. And he was basically like, no, because I'm cucking myself to Trump. By the way, as much as he's supporting Trump here, remember, he was supporting DeSantis in the primary, and he was taking some shots at Trump. He was throwing haymakers at Trump's face there for a while. And he was correctly making criticisms of Trump. Now all of a sudden, a lot of those criticisms that even I was making a few months ago, now libertarians, you're not allowed to make them and shut up about them and just fall in line and vote for Trump. This is the lemming sort of thinking that he says Democrats do that he's fucking doing. And his whole show is that. His whole show is, ooh, woke bad. Ooh, the left bad. Ooh. Thank you, Dave, because I always come to you for the high-minded commentary. Commentary like, classical liberalism is really like libertarianism, but with a minimal set of rules. Genius. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.